they can take care of this and take control of the situation by dropping on top of KPI. KPI is going to drop between Farm and Pochinki. That's where they normally drop. What is Ghibli going to do? We'll have to see.
Will we see a hot drop? We will see a winner no matter how you slice it. Let's go to the voices with the call for the final match of the day. It is Matchroom and the Cammy D.
One last game in the first PGC weekly final. Finally seeing VP come to life. Plane Path going to be cutting right through the center of it. And thank you yet again to Alienware and Toomey for all that you provide for PGC. We couldn't do it without you. All right, Cam. One game left. Decide who's going to be going on. Feeling good about this week. And I don't know. It's been so back and forth and violent all day today.
It really has. But I think right now we have to look at only two teams, KPI and Ghibli. Rarely have we seen teams that are so close to each other at the very end of a series with such a gap behind them to third place. So really, these two teams honestly could just focus on each other because they know that they're the only teams that they really have to contend with. So let's see what the drops are happening. Virtus.pro are sticking with the Starkey drop. We'll see if they stay with that going forward for the rest of this event, but at least right now, it is a very good backup plan considering they decided finally to pull away from the hot drops.
Yeah, KPI coming in strong right now. And I gotta say, again, I've enjoyed watching these guys grow. And it's just a continual, like, it's an exponential growth. It feels every single time we see them at a new international event, they find opportunities. And you just gotta give it out to them. We saw in the last game, they do not give up. If they feel like there is an opportunity still to be had, they don't care if they're outnumbered. They don't care about anything. They just bring so much heart into every single game, and that's giving them so much in the circle.
He's stuck out on his own. Well, okay, not anymore. The rest of TSM are grouping up, and MCG trying to scatter, trying to find a new spot. We're definitely going to be taking these engagements. Good spray coming out from Canaxi, gets another kill.
I mean, Burram just comes in and plays spoiler on everything so often. Here's a firefight and says, hey, we're going to get involved. Kills to be had. Jumps in, already picks up one. Also moving aggressively into it with the fact that we're seeing the 2-2 split coming off. Luke with a beautiful play coming off the top. It does go down as well. Multi-Circle Gaming does get eliminated, but Burram is putting in work in the southern grouping. Now, let's see how TSM can manage to right this one. They have two of their members that are going to be down, and it's going to be a little bit further up on the hillside. So, with this, just the last two having to contest with all of Burram, who have no fear coming into this party now, the last one up, trying to see if he can get a feel for exactly where the approach is going to be coming from, but no! It's going to be Burram, comes up at 5 kills already, and just absolutely ruins both Multi-Circle Gaming and TSM's fun.
Burram, this is an exciting play style, and it's finally coming up solid. It's been a bit hit or miss in previous matches, but they have a good number of kills already as well.
Away from this.
That's good. Because, I mean, GNL were in the blue. They didn't want to be taking too much damage, especially now that it's phase 4, but this does give an opportunity for Burram to try and heal up, but we'll see if Heroic let them rotate away. Okay, amazing spray from Waikakumukau from his vehicle. He does get traded out by Oldless, confirmed by Renbub. And now 17 making a similar spray or send across the bridge and find themselves directly on top of Danoa, Solba, or Liquid gun a third party. Of course they are. Of course they are.
Team Liquid wanted into this one. Do get it down. It's going to be Mixie that managed to spot it out. But there is one member back for 17 that's holding this in. It's going to be a little ghost. We know the fact that this guy has been putting in work for the squad right now, and so should be able to find something with it. It's going to be EB off on a different angle, as well as GEN.G now finding out pretty close position, pretty close to KPI, but it's going to be KPI that has an awareness. But Fury did send it into this point. KPI doing a good job on navigating. Fury gets eliminated quite early in this, as they chose to go into the exact same position KPI did. And now Pio realized the fact that this fight's over a little bit too fast, says, okay, I'll take my shots, see if I can get something, but now it's time to retreat.
Gotta back away. Very extended from the rest of his team hanging out at Cube, but back here, Ghibli, they've had one of their players taken down, but they've been dealing even more damage to SSG. Burram do get eliminated in the kill feed in the meantime, but more shots happening onto SSG. No, not just yet on the Keenan. And what can Sharpshot do from this side angle?
Imagine a second ago whenever you would say that KPI is going to be in the strong centralized point, and it's going to be Ghibli that's in trouble, getting picked apart on the outside. Ghibli wanting to have a big game of their own so that way they can test and get ahead of KPI. Do manage to put in some work onto Space Station Gaming. 3 members still up, but now it's going to be Sharpshot sending it over to the north, and he's going to have to deal with a couple of teams along this path. It's just going to be a matter of who spots him out first, and it's going to be Ince. Squeaky Lions into him, and now How are we going to see Ghibli approach, as it is going to be Ints repositioning as they did hear this firefight, and Ghibli has minimal options as their approach is either going to be next to KPI, next to Danawa, or next to Ints.
I think KPI are able to recognize that the Ghibli was just to their east, and so they're trying to push, they're trying to keep them out. They recognize that if they kill Ghibli, then they're in first place. There is no way at this point, I think, for Oath to get the points necessary. And here, they're ready for Spear's send. They're going to be in position to set up a crossfire. The shots come through. Spear is finished. Ghibli are now down to 2. This is huge for the Argentinian team.
They spotted it. They read in the kill feed. They're like, this is the one team we cannot give points to. We have got to go somewhere else. So they hop in the vehicle. Looks like they're going to send it down to the south. That's going to be where Danawa is positioning. Where is the circle going to go? Is it going to go center where nobody is at? Is it going to favor one of these sides? Ghibli crossing into the safe zone right now, going right by Danawa. Going to lose one of their members, already in a little bit of trouble as they're rolling through. Now it's just going to be Adder trying to see if he can make a hero play to make it into the circle that did pop to the west. Narrowly coming into it, near on no life, but is going to navigate through. The problem is there's near on no cover, and he has got to survive and stay alive much longer than KPI. As you know, KPI is on the hunt for kills. Team Liquid already up and have had a phenomenal day, shifting into 4th place.
KPI rotating after Ghibli, but they're also running away from Ents at their back, trying to get into the circle. Suddenly being pulled away from them is the zone, and they need to rearrange their positioning. Oath also making a send, trying to send it through Virtus Pro, but the shots are coming out. A little bit of damage, but nothing too devastating just yet. And they're just going to stick at this shack for now.
Everything is coming out in KPI's favor. Oath making the stop there means the fact that they're going to have vision on the shack, on the open side of it, do get the knock onto Snakers, and now can continue to make the press in. They've got so much control over this and should be able to easily maneuver themselves into a strong point in the center. Adder, hearing the firefights around him, realizing that he could be in some trouble, seeing if maybe he can get to a point, try to get a kill point of his own, but KPI now taking the work into Danawa. Salut's going to go down, but it's going to be Rustenmar that gets the flush onto it. Adder still clinging to life, but it's not going to be for too long, and in the end, it is going to be Ghibli going down to KPI as they are cementing position, and you know these guys are feeling it right now. This is a squad that lives off of emotion and heart, and they are putting in so much work in the teams around them.
But they're not done. They're still trying to get as much of a first position as possible, because why not? Why not really make it hurt, not just for Ghibli, but for every other team in the lobby? The more points that KPI get, the fewer points any other team can grab as they put themselves in the leaderboard going into week 2 and 3. Leklo goes down, fully confirmed. And now damage onto Ents by KPI as well, now that their direction has spun over towards the east.
Ooh, gotta be careful. Silson already down. Emmy in some trouble as well. KPI trying to make a statement, but that statement might have to be a quick retreat from this point. They do have Ints as well as the remnants of Danawa making their approach into this. Oath is kind of caught out and still trying to live around that shack, and KPI remembers it, keeps taking a look into that direction. Heroic making a shift, rolling in a very close to VP's positioning, near on no fear, as they're just going to roll right up into this one. Ints is going to be able to take down Danawa at range off of this one. It's getting more control over the west, but it is going to be Draft King, a star performer for KPI that is going to be holding down a close range position right on top of him. Emmy goes down. Only one going to be up for KPI at the time. Draft King, what do you have left? As Ints is just going to continue to rain in grenade upon grenade. Now caught on fire, near on nowhere to go. Get spot out. It's going to be Snakers that get some vengeance from their shack to take them down. Now, firmly cemented inside of first place. KPI's got to be feeling pretty good, but opportunity arises now for Oath to make their statement as they are finding themselves in a halfway decent spot into the north. It's just getting messy. VP and Heroic just at each other's throats.
Damage coming out from Petulin, spraying Heroic down. It's only T-Bone remaining at distance in the compound, the anchor player. And that send from Heroic was a necessary send for this game, but Virtus Pro are holding onto their territory. I don't know if Perfectus is going to be able to get revived. Potentially smokes coming out from Spyro, but again, it all depends on the angles from Oath and particularly from GEN.G. I think Virtus Pro might just want to play it as a duo.
Guess what,
Diggory is getting the revive onto Tixu, and they still need to make their way even further into this zone. They're going to have to use smokes to make their way through because this angle by Esther is huge. GEN.G, 5 kills, 4 up, and now in top 4 podium finish. It's been a slow start. Let's see if they can't end with a bang.
I mean, it's got to have to get some back onto VP, but just cannot find the angle.
If you can get a kill, T-Bone can count this top 4 situation a success. But the blue is closing in. He has to get into his own vehicle and push it forward. Wants to go into VP because he... Oh my god, Anonix. All right, okay. A lot of fantasy players have been really upset with his play style so far, but if he can land shots like that, if he lands shots
There we
like
go.
this, here we go. Now he's getting the points.
That's the GEN.G we expect. Oath gonna have to contest with Tulin's last one up. He is going to go down, but he does manage to drop Snakers, which provides an opportunity for GEN.G, as this was going to be a 4v4 lineup. Now Oath having to see if they're going to be able to get a quick res out of this one. Good repositions already starting to come out from GEN.G. They realize the fact that they have the opportunity and they want this victory. They do not want to end at the bottom of this leaderboard, and they know that they have an opportunity with it. Ashura sending it out in range, getting a back flank position on top of Oath. Kickstart is playing back there, but I don't know if he has the awareness of how this is going through. It's going to be reloaded. Goes down. Good toss on grenade coming up from Pio. Balefrost trying to see if he can keep control over this one. Ashura, though, putting in work back behind this one, but cannot quite find the angle just yet. Everything is starting to get a little bit more cemented in his Pio, realizing the fact that it might be a little bit too aggressive to play, waiting on the rest of his team to find different angles to play from. Ashura still being a pain in the backside of everything that Oath is trying to do, but it's going to be GEN.G that's finding more and more opportunity. Grenade's going to land yet again right up on top of Snakers, and Oath just cannot get their feet underneath them, and Balefrost is going to go down. Now it's just going to be kickstart, and there you go! GEN.G picks up the last game and moves from last into 10th place. Massive come up.
What a jump for GEN.G, but we still have to celebrate KPI as the weekly winner. Underdogs coming into this event, underdogs coming into weekly survival and this weekly final, and they win the entire thing. Amazing play so far this entire weekend out of the Argentinian team, and I'm super excited to see if they can stay at this level for the entirety of PGC.
I know that everyone in Latin America right now is just ridiculously hyped. They've been wanting to see the capabilities of this squad for so long, and finally on an international stage to put in this much work. And you have to admit, it's not circle luck. It's all about maneuverability, taking risks, and coming in and getting big kills when it matters. Guys, analyst desk, walk us through what we're looking at, because we got to reset for a whole new week.
Thank you very much to Matt and Cameron for the cast, and congratulations to KPI for their $30,000 going to them, as well as the automatic bid to the grand final. The cameras will follow them as our weekly champions, but we will tip our hats as well to GEN.G.